What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Another Sports Talk Tuesday. Man, we got a lot to talk about this Tuesday. We got, of course, the Jon Gruden NFL bombshell that he has been using racist remarks and comments and emails back and forth with executive with the Washington Washington football team. And I mean, it gets deeper than what he said about DeMaurice Smith and his lips. He's offended every demographic, every group, every person that you could probably offend, and it's probably going to get worse because they're trying to petition to get more of the emails released. And so this all came about from an investigation of the Washington football team, which then uncovered this. So that's how some people are wondering, how did this end up happening? Why are they looking at emails of Jon Gruden from 10 years ago? That's how it started. I'm going to get a little more into it in a little bit later in the show. Also, we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving, and he has been now told that he can no longer be a part of the team at all. He's either 100 in or he's going to be 100 out. And so that's going to be a big problem, and that's a bombshell for the Nets because they were pretty much favorites to win that chip this year. And now with Kyrie not in the team, part of the team, that is definitely going to be a herder. And I'm going to talk about that whole vaccine mandate and what he's going through. And is he justified, not justified? And then also Ben-Simmons is now reportedly ready to come to Philly and play. He has reported to training camp. He's taken the COVID test, and they say that now he's ready to be back with the team. But it looks like he's only there to be with the team so that he can play, get his value as far as trade value up, then they're going to trade him. He's not there to stay and be a part of the team permanently, so we'll see how that works out. And then we're going to talk about NFL Week 5 and also that Fury Wilder fight, which we did watch in our membership with my members in Discord. If you haven't joined the membership, you missing out. We watched that fight live. It was dope. Definitely was worth the money. We got a lot of great things going on in the Discord community. Join it. The membership link is right here in the description box below, right in there. Go ahead and click that. First thing you see, join the membership, help support your boy, and also you go get way more for your money than what you put up. Very few things that you can pay so little and get so much return on your investment, and it's going to be worthwhile. I'm in there talking with you all the time. We watching videos, movies, all kind of stuff. So it's definitely going to be dope. And, I enjoy the Discord community. So I have a guest that's supposed to appear a little later. We'll see what's up with that. And so let's go ahead and get into it because it's a lot to talk about today. First, let me give a shout out to Jordan Calloway. What's good, JC? Coming through early with the super chat, helping to keep the lights on into this organization. I appreciate your support, fam. Thank you. You just joined Discord as well. I appreciate your support. And I appreciate, you being a member. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play a video. As I always do for everybody when they go ahead and support this channel. And here's a throwback video for boxing, since we are going to talk about that Fury Wilder fight, okay, and a little bit later. Maybe I'll talk about that first, and I already summed it up on Sunday, so here we go.
I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do. How about killing this mother? Okay.
Big Mike, Iron Mike Tyson, Kid Dynamite up in this piece. Troubles 409 up in the building. What's good, Troubles? What's up? What's up? Young Slim, what's good with you, fam? Appreciate you for coming on through. Thanks a lot for your support as well, man. Detroit, what's up? What's good, fam? Appreciate you as well. And you said he wasn't getting traded. He actually is going to get traded, Ben Simmons. He just came back and to report with the team because his trade value is next to zero. Nobody wants to give them anything for him, so he has to come back and play so that he can get more trade value, and if he plays good, they will trade him. Watch. He will be traded before the All-Star break, but we'll talk about that a little later. You talking about go Eagles. Eagles did squeak out a win by, a field goal, so we could talk about that a little later as well. So, one thing we could talk about is the Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury fight. So, this was the third fight. The trilogy is now complete. And Tyson Fury destroyed Deontay Wilder. He pretty much ended Deontay Wilder's career. Deontay Wilder is no longer a heavyweight championship contender. And it's really simple. Because Tyson Fury is the champ. And he cannot beat that dude. Tyson Fury is too big, too skilled, too strong. Deontay Wilder never had to develop a boxing game. He's always been able to win with that one punch. And when he came across a guy that could take that one punch, he has nothing. And so, with that being said, he pretty much ended his career. Deontay Wilder, he's saying that he may not retire, but he probably, he probably shouldn't if he wants to get money, but at the same time, he's not a championship contender anymore. The best thing that he should do is just fight no names and just run up his record, because he definitely cannot beat Tyson Fury. He better hope and pray Tyson Fury decides to get back on that booger sugar and ruin his career, because that's his only chance. Deontay Wilder's 35 years old. We saw he came with a good fight strategy in the first round, working the body, stick and move, jab, and then what happens? Once he got hit, he got shook up, he then goes back to what you know, your muscle memory, which is looking for the big shot. And it's saying that he won't retire. And I get it. It's, embarrassing to get beat and get thrown into retirement. He beat this dude so bad, he fell on his face. And whenever you fall face forward, you got your ass whooped, because you would have tried to at least put your hand down or something to stop from falling on your face. And if you can't do that, you really got whooped. And Wilder got beat down. It was unfortunate because, like I said, time and time again, my heart was with Wilder. But my mind said Fury. I wanted Wilder to win because he's, American. He's a young black dude from the South. It could have been inspirational. And I wanted an American to be the unified heavyweight champ. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to pull it off at all. And Fury beat the brakes off of him like he stole something. At 35 years old, he has no time to come back. He's not going to relearn the fight. He should have let Floyd Mayweather's father train him. But at the end of the day, at 35, it's just so old to start to learn, because boxing is about muscle memory. It takes years to build up that muscle memory. So he would need to be trained by Floyd for at least 5 years in order to get enough muscle memory that when you get hurt or when the shit hits the fan to keep going and doing and sticking to the game plan. and that's not something he could do. The first fight, he really lost, but he landed 2 big shots that laid Fury out, and he was able to squeak out a draw. The second fight, he got destroyed. The third fight, he did have a better game plan. He did fight a little better, but at the end, it's not enough. He cannot beat this dude. He's not skilled enough, and Fury is just, he could take it, man. Even though he dropped Fury a couple times in this fight, Fury could take a punch. He could get back up. And that's very demoralizing to a big puncher when normally when you drop people, they never get up. And you can drop this dude and he could just keep getting up from your best shot and still give you the business. And it's just not a good look, man. I think it's over for him. Y'all let me know in the comments. Put a 1 if you think it's over for Fury. For Wilder as far as a championship contender. Put a 2 if you think Wilder could still be a heavyweight champ. Let me know. I definitely don't think that he has a chance to be in the heavyweight champ. It said that Wilder was world champ for more than 5 years from 2015 and has 42 wins, including 41 inside the distance from 45 fights. But that time period he held that belt, he was fighting nobody big, nobody worth anything. And that means that it actually was hurting him because he wasn't going into deep waters. He wasn't developing the boxing skills needed. And when he had to fight somebody at the top of their game, it shows he wasn't ready. He was ill prepared and he got the brakes beat off his ass. So it's unfortunate. And they saying he doesn't belong there with the other guys and he needs to be in high-level fights and main events. It's only one real main event left. He could fight Anthony Joshua, and they pretty much similar fighters, don't have much experience, good punchers. They both can get dropped. But at the same time, without a belt on the line, they just fighting for money. So it is what it is. Fury, he got that chin. He can get up, and it's nothing that he can do. And I see Slim, you saying he got 2 losses. He shouldn't retire. Well, in that regard, that's not saying because of the amount of losses you should retire. But he's getting hurt. He's 35 years old. And, he could keep fighting for money. But as far as an opportunity to be a champ, it's over. Wilder got beat down, like you just said, and he can't beat him. So we already know Anthony Joshua has it in the rematch clause for Usyk. So he's going to get that rematch. But then after that rematch, Usyk probably will beat Joshua again. And then after that, whoever wins that fight got to fight Tyson Fury. Fury could beat either one of those guys, and Fury will be the champ. And so after that is said and done, Wilder can't beat Fury. So all he could do is fight people for money. So, it is what it is. I think it's pretty much over for Wilder as far as being a contender. So, moving on along, we see Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is sitting here trying to not play, and he's upset about the vaccine mandates. Okay? And so I get it. Let me put this in here right quick. Kyrie, nobody like to be forced to do anything. But at the same time, he's going to put his team in jeopardy by not being there for him. The Brooklyn Nets have just said that either you 100 in or you 100 out. And so now that that's what's been said for Kyrie, what is he going to do? Is he going to be there for his team? Kevin Durant has had his back. It's said now that Kevin Durant is tired of Kyrie and all the stuff. Kyrie is known to have said some crazy things, from saying that the earth is flat, he doesn't believe the earth is round, and all kind of other crazy things that that is just out there. But with that being said, one of the things now that's the problem is that he won't be able to be there for the team. He can't practice. He can't be a part of the team. He can't do anything unless he gets vaccinated. They're not going to allow him to play half the games and half out. Part of the problem is that New York said that it's a mandate. He can't be in the building or any of the players without being vaccinated. It's a vaccine mandate. So he doesn't want to be vaccinated. He's the only player on the team that's not vaccinated. They're the favorites to win the NBA championship, and he's putting that all into jeopardy by not being vaccinated. And he's basically turned them into a dysfunctional sideshow right now. And every game, they're going to have to be interviewed and asked about Kyrie Irving, which players are going to get tired of it. He said that if he gets traded, he will retire. Now, he's in his last year of his contract, so I'm sure he probably could get traded for, they might even take a second-round draft pick for Kyrie Irving at this time just to get him off the damn team. And I don't know. I think that the problems that he's creating and the situation that he has put the rest of the team in isn't worth it. They say he drew the line in the concrete, not the sand or the dirt, the concrete. And the teams said that they hope it was wet cement so it can be fixed. But they said that Kyrie is still probably not going to take the vaccine and may end up retiring. And so I don't know. What do you guys think? Everybody has gotten the vaccine. I wonder what he thinks about his teammates by taking the vaccine. The New York City mandate requires him to be vaccinated from COVID, or he can't play any home games. So that's half of the games. It's an 82-game season. That's 41 games he won't be available for. And so they don't know what they could do. That would be unfortunate is an understatement, because home court advantage would be out the window. You would have maybe half of your games where you would be not at full strength. And now they won't even let him practice with the team or do anything until he's vaccinated. So the Nets front office at first, Kevin Durant, said don't trade him or he would be having a problem with the team. Also, they got to keep in mind the James Harden contract is about to be up. James Harden may not re-sign with the team if they got all this drama and stuff going with Kyrie. So they may potentially lose all three players because of what Kyrie has done. If Kevin Durant gets mad about how it's handled, although they saying he's a little frustrated about Kyrie right now, he stood up for Kyrie, had his back, all of this, and now Kyrie is basically going to say to hell with all of you all. And I get it, how some people may feel about the vaccine, but at the same time, it's about over 6 billion people that have taken the vaccine or something to that effect. And a lot of, information is out there, especially for a person like him, that if you want to get that information, you can get it. Now, maybe he doesn't think that information is credible. He doesn't believe this or that. So I guess he believes YouTube videos more than all the information that's available to him. And that's giving a lot of credit to a YouTube video. I'll say that much. So, I don't know. And he got $30 million on the line. How many of y'all would leave $30 million to do this? He definitely is putting his money where his arm is. And I don't know, man. Kyrie Irving is a gifted player, but at the same time, I don't think he's worth all of this. I definitely don't think he's better than James Harden. And if I had to keep Kyrie or James Harden, I'm going to keep James Harden over Kyrie any day of the week. So, I don't know what you guys would do. Y'all let me know. Put a 1 if you would keep Kyrie. Put a 2 if you would rather have James Harden. I mean, of course, we would all rather try to keep them both, but it doesn't look like they may be able to, especially with Kyrie with all this drama. It said Durant was supportive, and it's far easier to do now compared to the grind of the season when you're hunting the quiet and cohesive champs in Milwaukee or the Lakers team. But is Durant going to be happy carrying the load by himself when he signed up with Kyrie originally so that they can do this? And now Kyrie kind of left him hanging. So we'll see what happened. I think they say right here the second best player is Harden, who I agree on that team is the second best. He's definitely better than Kyrie without a doubt. So we'll see what happens with this, but I definitely think he's making a big mistake, and he's pretty much about to put himself out the NBA. I think he will retire. I think that if it comes down to being vaccinated, and he really is that adamant about not doing it, he's going to have to retire because this vaccine mandate's not going away. And it's about to come to a point where he won't be able to play in damn near half or maybe even all of the games or arenas without being vaccinated. So then it's going to be, he's going to get retired. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said that Kyrie was selfish for not doing it. I get that it's your body and you want to be careful about that, but at the same time, you letting your teammates down. And so, I don't know. You say about the sacrifice of 4 200-milliliter super clown. Kyrie said he is doing this because of the people who lost their jobs because of the vax. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's really helping anybody or helping them. You say, Larry Jones, what up, what up? Kyrie Irving is mad stubborn. I'm from Cleveland, and he was a superstar for us, but he always had an indifferent type of attitude. Okay. Yeah, Kyrie definitely is not really there to support, the team and be there for the team like he should. So, I mean, it's unfortunate he's leaving the team like that. But, it is what it is. I think that he's definitely making a mistake, not being supportive like he should be. And, Kyrie, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I get what he's trying to do as far as, be there for those people maybe. But at the same time, he's leaving them hanging. And his teammates. He doesn't know all those people, those individual people. And he's going to sacrifice not only possibility of winning the championship, Kevin Durant stood up for him and had his back. But at the same time, I see he don't have the same level of, support and have his back like KD had. So, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody, they tried to put this, he wouldn't even be in Brooklyn if it wasn't for Kevin Durant. They probably wouldn't have made that trade and tried to get him, but they knew KD wanted to play with him, so that's why they did it. And yeah, he's not willing to understand other perspectives and come on through. And at the end, he's definitely hurting the team. Ray, what's up, Ray? How you doing, fam? Appreciate y'all for, you know, coming through. You know, I don't know, LV, RICLY, checking in on Twitch. What's good? You say, why don't he just get a fake vaccine sign that he took it? I mean, if it was a regular job, that might work. But I see that with this right here, it probably wouldn't work. So, I don't know. He probably should, you know, end up doing what's necessary for his team to win. But I see, you know, he basically selfish, and he gonna probably cost them the championship. So we'll see. You say, who cares? Let that man choose what he wants to do. That's true, and I understand that, but who cares are the people that paid $30 million a year. Who cares is his teammates who want him to be there so they can win a championship. You know, so, I mean, that's who cares. And at the end of the day, he's letting them all down. You say, Sheena, he has to do what's best for him. Hopefully he weighed out the options. You know, that's true. But at the same time, what he's doing, what's best for him, that's selfish, and he going to end up getting kicked out the NBA. So maybe he feels that he made enough money and it ain't necessary for him to be in the NBA no more. But at the same time, he should have told his teammates this, and they could have made whatever trade or whatever's possible. He doesn't want to get traded, saying he'll retire. Well, I mean, he can't have his cake and eat it too. I know what you're saying about a championship, but that's what they playing for. So, you know, your books is fine, but your books ain't the NBA or the Nets books. So, you know what I mean? That's the difference. He should just go ahead and retire, or, you know, do something else with his life if that's the case. Because at the end of the day, he's holding up the team. He's holding up everybody else, and it's ended up costing them in the end. So we'll see. And like you say, not everybody want to be property of the United States. He's smarter than basketball. Well, if he's so smart, why don't he just retire? Why don't he just walk away? I mean, nobody's making him play basketball. Nobody's making him join the NBA. So if that's how he feel and that's what he wants to do, all he got to do is walk away. All he got to do is quit, retire, and go live off your money and go do you. But if you holding everybody else hostage, then you being selfish. You're not considering what everybody else is trying to do. And that's the thing about being part of a team. And so we'll see what's up. And if he, you know, do that. See, I didn't pass judgment on him. I didn't judge him. I'm just stating the facts of what he did. I didn't say he's wrong or he's right for taking the vaccine. I didn't say he, you know, I say he shouldn't hold his teammates hostage with his own decisions. That's facts. Do you? If you don't want to take the vax, retire, walk away. That's what I said. So I'm not judging him. You can do whatever you want to do, but at the same time, you don't hold other people caught up in what you doing and not doing. So, you know, I didn't say he should or shouldn't take the vaccine, or he's wrong or not. If he don't want to be a guinea pig, fine, retire. Because he can't rewrite the NBA. He can't change the laws of New York. He can't, if he really cares about those people that lost the jobs, donate your salary. Give them some money. Start an organization. Help them. By him sitting out, that doesn't help. You know? So, I mean, right now he's being a guinea pig in the experiment of, is a person going to risk $30 million to take their shot, or are they going to actually, you know, do it and take the money? So either way it go, he's a guinea pig in this situation. He going to be an example one way or another. Either he going to be a guinea pig that he going to take that money and sell out and do it, or he going to be a guinea pig in the sense to show people that no amount of money is enough for him to compromise what he want to do. The world is, you know, people that's following is watching. So we'll see what he does. $30 million, and, you know, he probably got over $200 million in future earnings on the line. 30 million this year and over 100 million in future earnings. We'll see what he decides to do. So, you know, you say he has given back a lot, though. That's true. But at the same time, you know, people still see it's cool to give back and stuff. But at the same time, those people need like a livelihood and stuff. So without that livelihood, like you can, like they say, give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, they gonna eat for the rest of their life. So unless he's like giving these people jobs that could replace what they had, it's not gonna be enough. And that's for anybody. So the best thing to do is to, and I'm not saying this is his place to do it. He a basketball player. You know, it's not his place to do it. But at the same time, I think that, you know, he's very short-sighted. What's up, Sheena? You be safe on the road, sis. All right, I got my boy Lamont in the building. What's good, fam?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
All right, all right. So far I talked about the Wilder Fury fight, and now I'm on the Kyrie Irving vaccine right now. What's your quick take on those two things right quick before we move on?
If Fury and Wilder fight 20 more times, Fury gonna whip that ass 20 more times. Simple as that. Ain't nothing else need to be said about that. And Kyrie Irving, it's his choice. Do he want to get the vaccine? But he's being selfish. And when you've got the kind of wealth that he has, hey, you can be selfish. He's got an NBA title. You know, the organization is trying to do what they can to make sure all their employees and staff is in the healthiest, most safe environment that they can put forth. Kyrie don't want to be a part of that. So, hey, he either going to, you know, he said he would retire if they, you know, trade him. So get ready for the Kyrie retirement, even though I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I don't think so either. And, I mean, he trying to stand up for it and say that, you know, he not going to put his body on the line or this, that with the vaccine. I get it. But he's part of a team sport. And you had Kevin Durant stand up for you, speak up on your behalf. Now you let James Harden on the team. The team is trying to build a championship contender. Y'all are favorites to win it all. And from what I've seen, you just said to hell with them. So if that's how you feel, let them trade you then. Don't threaten to retire.
He said if they trade him, he's going to retire.
Right.
But that's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. This is not
money
talk.
talk.
Right.
Yeah, and because they wanted to trade him for Ben Simmons.
And you know what?
That would have been...
to be honest with you, I think Ben Simmons would work better with the Nets than Kyrie would. And I think Kyrie would work better with Philly than what Ben Simmons
Yes, that's a perfect trade.
Perfect trade.
Win-win for everybody. He gives Philly exactly what they need, and it gives Brooklyn exactly what they need. That defender, big guard, don't need to shoot a lot.
Exactly.
You know, and, you know, it's messed up. MK God, I do not think he's bigger than basketball. And actually, nobody is. Maybe the only person came close is Jordan. But that's not even true. And LeBron comes up in there, but at the end of the day, neither one of them are, because they are men and they retire. And basketball keeps going.
Keep on going.
Damn right. Basketball will keep on going. It will be new players playing. There'll be new players making more money than them. Basketball will continue without these guys, period.
Right.
You know, we've already seen the Wilts, the Kareems, the Magics, the Jordans, the Birds, the LeBron. All of these guys will come and go. Iverson. And the NBA going to keep on ticking.
And J-Mo, at the end of the day, what these businesses and the NBA and the NFL, for that matter, are doing, they are trying to, it comes down to the money. They're not trying to lose no more money. They're not trying to lose the players that help them create the money, and they don't want to lose the fans from the stands that help pad their money. But that's all they're trying to do. I mean, when I went to Las Vegas to the Raiders game, you either had to have proof of your vaccination, or you had to have a COVID test had been done within the last 24 hours of coming to the game. So I felt completely safe up in there, completely safe. And it wasn't like they would, you know how you go someplace, they check you in, and they really not checking you in. They just kind of like, you know, no. They weren't doing that. You had to pull out your phone and your card and show it to them, and you won't get in.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's getting serious. They trying to do what's best to get rid of this COVID situation. Not to say that maybe the vaccine is the cure, but they want to open up the country fully. And it's a lot of, because of America and Americans, it's not that easy, but you know, businesses and places are tired of it, and they trying to do what they can to do it. So it is what it is, man. And
that's it.
You know,
what it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you cannot send your kid to school without vaccinations.
Right.
And even and I always hear people, what if I got a religion? If you're going to go to certain schools, even with your religious exemption, they still do not take your kid. Especially here, because we had a situation where someone had a religious exemption and brought their kid to school, and thank God these other kids were vaccinated, but the kids still got these kids infected to the point where they had to stay home.
Wow.
It just didn't kill them. It didn't have them, debilitated.
Right.
It caused them to have a high fever, but it didn't debilitate them. I think it was measles, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they just trying to make sure everybody's on the up and up, everybody's on the same level playing field, and that's all it is.
Right.
Whether you believe in the vaccine or not.
Right.
This is just, he has his choice, but with your choice, you got consequences. I mean, hell, I can choose to go drunk driving, but the consequence is going to be either death, either I make it home, or I could possibly be pulled by the police. But I know that one of those three is going to be my consequence. That's
Definitely.
all it is.
That's true, man. Definitely. All right, Jon Gruden.
Oh, boy.
Now, you was just there at Raiders Nation enjoying the game, and little did you know that all of this was about to explode. So,
but you know what, J-Mo? I should have known, because some of them fans was as racist as he was, but the difference was, I said in my video today,
you did say that last week, that they did come at you.
They came at me, but I'm fine with it because I can handle it. I gave it back to them to the point where after I was done with them, they wanted to try to be my friend.
Right.
No, I don't want to be that. But Jon Gruden, boy.
Yeah, man. It comes with the investigation into the Washington football team, and they found that with the emails going back over 10 years, and some as recent as 2018, that he been, having little jokes about basically everybody. He called, Roger Goodell the F word, P word, rather, I should say. He called him the...
No, he called him both. I did a video on it today. He called him the F-A-G, you can finish the rest.
Right.
And then after that said he was a P-U-S-S-Y lip.
Right. So, yeah. Called him the Greek god. Puts a liar up in this piece, man.
Yeah, man.
And, then he talked about Michael Sam, which I know that really must have made the player on the Raiders, I can't think of his name, that just came out as being gay. He's the first active gay player in NFL history. You know his name offhand?
Golly, I was just...
It's all right.
We actually got a chance to see the dude, and I can't think of his name right now either.
Yeah. So Gruden didn't like his ass then, pun intended. So, he also called DeMaurice Smith Dumb Morris Smith, and said he had lips like Michelin tires. Then he actually tried to say in the press conference when it was first released that he should have known they was going to find all the rest of the stuff then. He tried to say, I was just trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be racist, knowing damn well he got a bunch of other stuff under the rug about to get swept from up under the rug, not swept under, from out up under the rug. And, what a fool, man. What a fool. And it speaks to the bigger thing of he was doing this for a decade back and forth, and it was cool, which means they thought the same way, which means that if they really investigate the NFL and he didn't like that player safety, you make you got $100 million contract because you coach these players and you don't give a damn if they can walk again or if they drooling on themselves or any of that stuff when they done playing. Like, that's dirty. What do you think about this with the player safety, all of this stuff coming out, man? He don't give a damn.
Man, J-Mo, where do you begin with this stuff? I had to watch myself when I did my video today because I was so frustrated that it didn't get hyped up to this level until the anti-gay and the misogynistic stuff came out. When it was just DeMaurice Smith, you had all these people that work with Jon Gruden trying to just say, it happened in 2011, let it go, it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. And even in Gruden's fake-ass apology that he did, he also was, basically dry snitching on himself, saying that more stuff is going to come out, and I'm apologize for it. But J-Mo, I sat through that interview he did about his apology. That was the worst apology I ever heard in my life. He even tried to deflect and say that he always says people who lie have big lips. So first, you done said DeMaurice Smith got Michelin lips. Then you called him dumb. Now you're trying to say that he's a liar on top of that, or your ass is just caught up in the stream, And then to further make the story worse, J-Mo, this email was shared with someone who worked with the Washington football team, right?
Yeah.
They also was sharing new pictures that was taken of the Washington football cheerleaders that had no business being given to the men in the organization in the first place.
Wow, I didn't hear that. How they got the nude pictures?
Whoever the head of the cheerleading group is, the woman that was head of the cheerleading, had somehow put those in the emails. Not only is he sharing them with the people that work with Washington, but in that same email string, one of the co-founders of Hooters was involved. Some dude in Tampa, Florida that owns a big chicken franchise was involved. And the guy who does one of the major college football bowls was all involved, J-Mo. Talk about a good old boy network. So here's the problem, J-Mo. We know about this one email string. What about all the other owners and all the other teams that got these emails and stuff that we ain't seen. And
Right.
then he was railing against Black Lives Matters. He was railing against Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. And when we used to say, you got a racist bone in you if you can't understand, he's taking a knee because people in the military told him that's how you respectfully take a knee, and that's how you respectfully do a protest. And Jon Gruden was one of the hardest people against that stance. So, and when we try to tell y'all that that stuff all has a racist tinge, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know race. You don't know my heart. You can't see. Well, we see your heart. When you get behind closed doors and think you're private, that's when you show your ass. And so it don't take a lot of us to see these behaviors and be able to pinpoint you for being a racist, a misogynistic, and an anti-homophobic person. And it all came out. But again, J-Mo, I am a little bothered that everybody's plight don't have equal weight.
Right.
Because again, there was no notion of, him being fired or resigning until the anti-gay stuff came out and him passing around the nude pictures of the cheerleaders came out.
Right.
I'm just saying, we're all oppressed in this situation. We need that same vitriol in every situation.
Right. And CFC, shout out to you, man. That's a good point. It says on here anti-gay and misogynistic. It doesn't say racist though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's my point exactly.
Right.
That's my point exactly.
Yep. They ain't coming and saying that part because, at the end of the day, there ain't nobody caring about what he said about the black folks, that much. He was still had his job,
And so we got to hold that owner, the Raiders owner, in contempt too, because he had all these emails Friday.
Right.
And still let the man go coach his team. And if you watch that game, J-Mo, the players wasn't into that game.
No.
At all.
And I'm glad it was against the Bears. Gave us an easy dub right quick.
And their head was not in the game. A lot of players don't like Gruden because he coached hard anyway. And how do you think the black people on the team was feeling, which their team is 72% black? Then
right.
You have the one only open gay person in the NFL on your team, and he's looking at all this. I wouldn't want to play for you either.
Right.
Now, I've had people get on my video and tell me they don't understand how calling somebody a big lip is racist, nor do they understand how calling somebody dumb is racist. And I said to that person, that's all you took away from the video?
Right. And that's like the same vein as watermelon and fried chicken. That's always going to the same old, joke jabs at black folks. You are dumb because you are running quarterback. Quarterback is too smart of a position. Or, you dumb because, you trying to be a lawyer. Well, you must have went to a cheap school or something, or night school, because black folks can't handle, technical stuff.
Right.
Or, big lips. They've been talking about black folks with big lips and big butts forever. So,
right.
At the most, the reason I at first said, though, that maybe he shouldn't get fired is because he didn't work for the NFL at the time. But once all of this stuff came out, it then shows a real bigger picture about what it is he's about. Now, I didn't say he wasn't wrong, but if you go back 10 years into 20 years into anybody's life, you're going to find some stuff, bumps in the road. Now, how long should you be punished for stuff? It depends. But he's actually coaching these people right now. You know what I mean? And he's trying to get them to follow him and be a leader right now. And you can't be a leader of men, and this is why I'm going to say this really affect him now, is because what did he do when he got there at the Raiders? He got rid of all the black players that were making money and was, good. What, Amari Cooper, Khalil Mack, who else he got? He got rid of a couple key players.
He got rid of the tight end. He got rid of the running back. I remember like it was yesterday.
And they were a good team.
They was a great team.
Yeah, they made the playoffs, and they regressed because of that.
And you see why. I mean, his coaching style is played now. And you made a point, J-Mo, the point that I made too. At first, I had said, you know what? We probably should just let it go. It's 10 years old. And then the rest of the email come out. J-Mo, he's been doing this from 2011 to 2018.
And that's just with emails. He's been probably thinking this way his whole life. And that goes to show that good old boy mentality of he didn't even think like I'm thinking how funny it is, in the sense that how stupid can you be? Like, you emailing a paper trail basically is worse than a paper trail, because it's digital. It ain't never going away.
You can't shred it.
Can't shred it, man. And you felt comfortable enough to say all this stuff in emails for a decade. Oh man, horrible.
I mean, and people was trying to say, oh, this is their council culture. I don't want to hear that shit. This is consequence culture.
Yeah, Young Slim made a point. He did get rid of that black punter that was like the greatest punter that we had seen or something.
And not only did he get rid of him, it's like he blacklisted him. Because dude still was a great punter. He was, and no, he ain't nobody pick him up.
That's crazy, man.
Nobody picked him up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he got what he deserved. He got what he, because it's not like he's going to jail. Hell, there's people who have done less offensive things than what he did in these emails that are in jail right now.
Definitely. Do you think his career is over?
No,
as far as coaching?
No. Oh, coaching, yeah. Coaching, he's done.
Well, I mean, what about TV? He can't come on TV with that.
Yes, he can. You don't think Fox News will hire him?
Oh, that's a hot take right there, man.
Or what's that other channel? That the one news network?
OAN or whatever.
OAN. Either one of them, I hire him tomorrow.
Wow.
And you know what they'll say it is? They'll blame it on cancel culture for something he did 10 years ago and expect nobody to know the real facts of your last email that had this bull job in it was 2018, right when you get ready to get that contract for $100 million.
$100 million. They paid him $100 million. He was getting paid. He had a better contract than damn near every player at the time.
And he's only gonna. And you know what? He's only gonna get out of that whole contract. He only gonna walk away with $45 million. And you know, I say that like it's a punishment, but ain't no fucking punishment.
Right,
nigga.
right.
You still walking away with $45 million.
Right.
You did a horrible job of coaching.
Yeah, he never was that. They treated him like he was Bill Belichick. He won.
And not only that, J-Mo, he was the general manager of the team too.
I know. It gave him total control for no reason, really, because he won the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy team. He only been to the playoffs 2 times the rest of his career after that. Horrible. Yeah, so, and his brother even got a job based off of him. And his brother wasn't worth a damn either. Jay Gruden. He was horrible with Washington.
Yep.
Terrible. And before we move on right quick, here's a look at Gruden's his you say Fox had Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock a mess, but he ain't come out with nothing like this. I'm sure he probably think that way maybe, but it ain't been proven. Okay. So this dude, since he was 35 years old, has had a head coaching job. At 35, his quarterbacks and players at 35 still in the league. He got hired at 35. He went 8-8, 8-8. He went 12-4, 10-6. Then with Tampa Bay, 12-4, won the Super Bowl the first year. The very next year with a Super Bowl winning team, 7-9. Because, you know, in typical Gruden fashion, he going to clean house.
Right.
You know. And didn't Oakland play Tampa in the Super Bowl that year?
Mm-hmm.
So, you could say he went with Tony Dungy team, but I forgot who was the coach that next year. They took his 10-6 team and went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You know. And then he went 7-9, 5-11. He went 11-5. That was a fluke because they was 7-9, 5-11. Went up to 11-5 because you know how the NFL works. The worse your record, then you get a weak schedule. But then when you win, if your team really ain't that good, because if you win, you get a strong schedule. So if your team ain't that good, you're gonna start losing again.
Yep.
And so they had that 11-5 playing that weak schedule. The next year, 4-12, 9-7, 9-7. He was gone. He came back 10 years later, so he was out the NFL at 45. Come back at 55. That's the decade of racist ignorance. And what's crazy is he had all type of TV jobs. He basically got that job because he was on TV on ESPN. They made him out to be like the quarterback whisperer. Like, what quarterback did he make great? Brad Johnson? Like,
he ain't make none of them quarterbacks good, man.
None. And so what they tried to give him credit because Gannon had a couple good years under him.
Yeah, Rich Gannon had like close to an MVP year.
Yeah, but I think that was on Gannon more than him. Yeah, Gannon.
Right, because they say Gannon used to cuss his ass out.
Okay.
Like Rich Gannon wasn't having none of his foolishness.
Right. Hey, man, I wouldn't put it past him, man. And, Gannon was a vet by then. And then he had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice to throw to.
He did.
So even though they was older, they still had some juice in the tank. And that's going to make anybody a little better. You know what I mean? So that's two Hall of Famers to throw to. And they still had some game left. He get to Oakland. I believe they was in the playoffs the year before he came. He went 4-12, 7-9, 8-8, and now they was 3-2. So I mean they were looking all right till last week. I think they didn't want to do nothing for him no more. So this dude, he from Dayton, Ohio, or Sandusky, Ohio. I don't want to talk about Ohio like that, but I went to college in Ohio, and, Ohio, that's how they think a lot. I had a few run-ins with the law down there. Ohio is, it's Ohio. Does that sound like the most progressive place? You know what I'm saying? You got Cleveland, but Cleveland is rough, man. So Cleveland, that's a gritty, blue-collar city. And then you got the rest of the Dayton, Ohio. Come on, man. And some of the other stuff. So, man, it is what it is. But I think this is just the beginning. Because if they start to uncover not only what he did, who else are they going to find? What they say is, 600,000 emails?
Something like that, man. And you know what? I want them all ousted. Because it bothers me when Anglo-Saxons try to assume that we don't know what we're talking about. There ain't no such thing as racism. We don't want you teaching critical race theory in schools, which critical race theory is nothing more than talking a little bit more about the harshness of how America started. They want you to just gloss over the slavery part. They want you to talk about how Christopher Columbus came here and was friends with the Indians. No, he wasn't. And then they want you to talk about how George Washington. Yeah, how George Washington came here. They brought 2 slaves and they treated them better than they treat American dogs now. And then the next thing you know, we're in a civil war. Shit, get the fuck out of here, man. Stop it. No.
Right.
And the reason they don't want you to teach is because when you get young people that are impressionable, if they really understand how evil white folks have been, you would change a lot of their mindset and they would not be voting Republican. And that's why they don't want them to teach no more of them type of lessons in school. That's the real reason. It ain't got nothing to do with the theory itself. They just don't want to see no more people voting Democrat. That's all it is.
Right. That's true. That's true. And this whole party stuff, that's a whole nother story. But, we know one side does, a lot more shady stuff and manipulation to get where they votes.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's crazy, man, and it's messed
nuts,
up, man.
Bro. It's nuts. You try to stay above the fray, man.
Definitely. All right, before we talk about Ben Simmons, let's go and talk about some of this NFL Week 5 right quick, and what went down with some of these scores for Week 5. Now, I don't want to start off with your fish out of water, cause
man, just do it. Get it over with.
Your team ain't looking too good, brother. What is going on? What is the solution for your Dolphins, or are y'all gonna get the #1 draft pick this next year coming up, man? What is up?
First of all, Tua gotta go. The coach.
You done with Tua? You seen enough already?
I'm done. He can't stay. J-Mo, he injured. He can't stay on the field.
Yeah, Tom Brady put up a career game on their heads, man. 45. This is his first 5-touchdown game in his career. 400 yards.
You see how my DBs was quitting?
Yeah.
And whenever you got players quitting, that's an issue with coaching. So I'm about to put the coach on borrowed time. Ain't none of Bill Belichick's acolytes done well in the NFL. Probably because they ain't cheating no more. And so my coach, he on borrowed time, J-Mo. I'm going to say if he don't win any of the next 3 games, we need to fire him to start over, bring in Deshaun, let Deshaun bring in whatever coach he want to bring in and rebuild from there.
Right. So let's go back for a second. You saying you done with Tua. So you don't think it's a chance he ain't salvageable?
Nope. He too injury prone, my brother. I mean, I was worried when he had that Bo Jackson hip surgery in the first place.
Right.
And because one of the caveats to him was the fact that he was great at scrambling and he was great at throwing on the run. That was two. And when you bust your hip like that, you ain't in there swishing them hips the way you was in college, getting away from them linemen. No, you ain't swishing hips no more, bro.
Right. Plus, you got that fear in the back of your head, too.
You got it, man. So, nah, I'm done with Tua. I'm done with our head coach just about. The owner wants to bring in Deshaun, but the Texans want us to give up 3 first-round draft picks.
Woo!
And I'm almost to the point of saying, give them 2.
Give them 2 and 2 up. You think they'll take Tua?
Give them Tua and 2 of them first-round draft picks. And then call it a day.
Right. What you think about Jacoby, though, man? I know he trying his best.
And you see what his best is getting us.
Nothing. Yeah, man.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, so...
Get rid of him, too.
What about y'all running game, man? They running game put up 39 yards. Is it what's going on with y'all running backs?
We got rid of Kenyon Drake. Well, the best way to put it is our offensive line is horrible too. Man, we just messed up.
Need a rebuild total, huh?
God, I don't know what our coach is doing. A lot of this go on the coach because when players give up on team, they gave up the other day. I mean, Tom Brady out there trying to win the MVP on us, and y'all quitting. That's something with the coaching. Play hard, you know? Because at the end of the day, even if you lose, when you go back and look at an NFL game or a basketball game or whatever, if you lose, you can go back and be like, you know what? That dude right there, he good. He play hard. He don't never stop. He keep coming. You can't say that with what we did this weekend, J-Mo. And because of that, that's coaching, in my opinion. Get rid of the coach.
Hey, man. You got to make some type of moves. They do need a big shakeup. And, you know, I ain't mad at you, man. Young Slim said that draft pick is the Eagles now. They made a trade or something, and the Eagles got the pick.
Yeah, we moved up.
Yeah. And, Ronald, no, this is Brady's first career game with 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. That's what they said. That's his first game in his career with 5 touchdowns, 400 yards. You heard that, right, Lamont?
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
It's not that. You know, he never threw 5 or 6 touchdowns. Larry Jones wanted to know if you a Panthers fan.
No.
D Weave said bring in Deshaun and Todd Gurley. I think Gurley done, man.
Yeah, I think he done called it a career just about.
Yeah, it's over for the Gurley man. But as far as you know how this went, man, that was ugly, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that was bad, and
the NFL should be upset because I'm telling you, the players didn't give no effort. It was almost like they was out there trying to have Tom Brady sign autographs and stuff. Man, it was bad.
Right. Let me show right quick what he said about the Brady thing, and then all right, well, y'all can look it up. But yeah, it say it right here. It's the first time. Damn, Antonio Brown, the fastest player to 900 catches. And he took a year off.
A year and a half.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Damn. That's crazy. Now, we talked about your team. Wasn't good news, unfortunately. But I do got some good news for my team, the Bears. Justin Fields got a W, his first touchdown of his career, and they doing smart with him. They not asking him to throw 30, 40 times. He had thrown for 20 attempts, completed 12 of them, only 100 yards. The Bears, the first team, I think they said in 10 or 20 years, to have the first 5 games and no game did they throw over 200 yards. So we don't have a big passing attack, but we are playing old school with the ground and pound. We had two running backs, both carry over 15 times, 16 and 18 attempts, put up 143 yards and put up a touchdown. And they kind of doing it smart by not asking Justin Fields to do too much. I don't trust in my coach, and I don't think that he is probably the best coach we could possibly have. He may be what I would say, he ain't no quarterback whisperer. I wish we had an Andy Reid type coach. But for the most part, we did get lucky in catching the Raiders while they were going through some drama. I ain't go front. The Raiders a good team right now. They was looking pretty good. They was 3-1, and they wasn't looking as bad as they looked last night. Sunday. They got whooped last Sunday, 20-9. They only put up 3 field goals. So Derek Carr, he wasn't connecting. He was out of whack. 22-35, 1-0. Got sacked 3 times. The running game wasn't doing nothing. They couldn't get nothing going. And I'm happy that happened for us. So Justin Fields did have a fumble. And did he have an interception? No interception this time. He didn't throw an interception already. Khalil Mack looked great. He was all over with the tackles and the sacks and everything. He was looking good. He was ready to get some revenge on the Raiders for what they done did by getting rid of them. The Bears, they got an upside. Do I expect us to be contenders? No. I really don't want them to make the playoffs, to be honest. I would like to get a lottery pick, so to speak, a first rounder, to help get him some more help. Maybe a star wide receiver if we could, or a lineman or something. But I don't know. What you think about Justin Fields right now so far? I done lost my boy Lamont. There we go.
Yeah. I like him, man. I don't think y'all need to go back to old boy. Just go ahead, start a new light now. Let him take his freshman lumps and keep the party moving. I mean, yeah. I'm happy you got something to be excited about. You get a kid, he done got his first win, taste of winning.
Right.
And when he settles down a little more, the game's just gonna slow down for him. And so go ahead and go with him, man. Don't put your veteran back in there. Let him go ahead and take this ride. Yeah,
definitely, man. Let him get them lumps, like you said, them experience, and let him get that experience, and let's see, what he can learn and what he can do with that. So,
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man. I hope it all work out for the Bears and everything. So now going back to the rest of the league. Right now, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but them damn Cowboys is looking good right now, man. They could be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. What you think about the Cowboys?
I got them top 5. They look good opening night against Tampa Bay.
They did.
And we all think Tampa Bay is a good team.
Yeah.
The team I have the most questions about how good are they really is Arizona.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is MVP candidate right now.
But I just need to see them play against stiffer competition before I can really, jump out on a pedestal for them.
That's true.
But the Cowboys, to be honest with you, man, I believe in them, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, man, I hate the Cowboys, but they got some lovable dudes on that team, man. Zeke is lovable. Quarterback is lovable. The tight end is lovable. And they got that hellraiser on defense, Michael Parsons, who is just as tough to stop him, man. So I got the Cowboys probably the 5th best team in the NFL right now as we speak.
And, I definitely think that what's his name, Michael Parsons, he going to be a stud, man. I watched Hard Knocks this year, and I saw he jumped off the screen on that. I knew he was going to be a great player to, look out for in the future, man, watching that. And so, definitely I'm impressed with what they've been doing on defense because that was their weak spot. Ezekiel Elliott has been stepping up a little more and getting the ball. Some people thought he wasn't all that because he didn't start off with, out the gate explosive, but they didn't give him the attempts like that. So he's been delivering. And other than, I think, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Cowboys, Arizona is like the top 4. And I have to look at the list one more time. What's up with the Bills? The Bills is up there. So, it's some good teams in there, man. The NFC is really looking stacked, though. So, and
you got that right.
Yeah.
The NFC is pretty stacked. I mean, the AFC's got like 3 or 4 teams that look like they could be a Super Bowl contender too. But the NFC is where it's at, man. You talking Green Bay, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Arizona still undefeated. And there's one more in the NFC that I'm just like, okay, I'm going to have to keep an eye on them. Damn, I can't think of it right now. But that's 4 for you right there. It's just in the NFC that could easily all win the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, it's I know it's only the first quarter of the season so far, but it's looking pretty good, man. It's looking pretty good. And your boy Trey Lance that you talked about last week, man, although he got a little hurt, a little banged up, he wasn't looking too bad for San Fran, against the Cardinals, which is doing damn good. So he did have, 89 yards rushing. So, he's going to be all right. The Bills is beating up the Chiefs, though. That was a surprise to me. I'm surprised the Chiefs are 2-3 right now. What's your thoughts on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs right now?
They got the same problem that Andy Reid tends to have everywhere he go. The defense is horrible. And with Patrick Mahomes feeling the pressure of not having a good defense, I think he's trying to do more than what he's comfortable doing. He's out there rushing passes. It's like he's seeing ghosts, just simply because his defense ain't got his back. So he feel like he's got to overcompensate. And I think this ship
swings it left side screen. Clyde Edwards-Helaire breaking.
This damn video started playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the recipe is out on how to beat Kansas City, man. We might not see them anywhere near Super Bowl so Andy Reid can get a defense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And what they doing is once they behind, it's putting all the pressure on Mahomes to make the comeback. 54 passing attempts. 54. So, you know, Josh Allen beat him with 26. Put up more yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
rated mature.
What in the world? They trying to make us watch these videos over here. But, you know, when you behind, you got to throw that ball to try to hurry up and play catch up, especially when your defense can't stop nobody. And then it forces turnovers. He had 2 picks and 2 sacks, even though he ain't give them no yards still. It's not helping them. There's too much, you know, pressure on trying to come back and catch up. And you see what the results is, man. It's ended up putting them behind in the end. So, yeah, I think you're right about the recipe to beat Kansas City because right now they 2-3. It ain't looking too good, and I'm sure they schedule ain't gonna get no easier. So, you know, definitely. And also, I forgot about the Rams, man. It looked like that Stafford trade was exactly what the doctor ordered, man. What's up with that right there?
It was, man. The Rams coach, he was never all that thrilled with Jared Goff, just because Matthew Stafford can do a whole lot more than Jared Goff can do. And when you want to talk about dumb quarterbacks, Jared Goff is the definition of a dumb quarterback. And I'm not saying that in a racist tone at all. I'm saying that from you have to have a certain level of intelligence and a certain level of being able to dissect things very quickly.
Yeah.
And
read that defense.
Jared Goff just ain't got it, man. And you see, the Lions are the only undefeated team in the NFL.
Right. Winless, you mean?
Winless, winless.
Right.
They 0-5.
Right. They had the coach crying. Coach over there crying, man. What happened to biting off the ankles and all the stuff that they gonna do to win? What happened to all of that?
I guess they just threw that out the window, J-Mo.
It got whooped now. They ain't got nothing coming on, man.
So my brother, I got to get out of here now, man. Somebody's up and ready to go to bed, so I got to get out of here.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you coming on through, man. Before you get out of here, what's your quick take on Ben-Simmons, man, in Philly?
He need to get traded for Kyrie Irving, and that'll make everybody happy. Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely be a win-win, man. And, they all need to get it together, man. So, anyway, man, sure. I appreciate you for coming through as always, big dog.
For sure, brother.
Yeah, man.
I'll catch you again next week.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you take it easy, man, and take care of that little one, man.
I definitely going to do that, brother. You be easy, too.
All right. I see you switched up your hat, too. I just noticed, man. You wear the fish hat.
In the lake. I'll see you, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Yep. All right, man. So, yeah, man. So going over a quick recap of some of the scores for last week and some of the games. The Rams, Russell Wilson got hurt. And so the Seahawks, they 2-3. But I still think the Seahawks got enough that they can still make the playoffs and win at least 10 games this year. So we'll see. The Jets, man, they lost to the Falcons, and the Falcons ain't worth a damn. That game was a throwaway. Neither team going to make the playoffs. Neither team is worth anything right now. The Packers is looking damn good. Aaron Rodgers, after that first game of the season looking bad, flipped the switch, and they looking like one of the best teams in the NFL ever since. The Bengals, man, Joe Burrow, it was down to a shootout, and, it ain't looking too bad for the Bengals as far as the future, but, the turnovers. They got to work on them turnovers, and throwing it 38 times with him still being new, and then they said he ain't ready with the quarterback sneak, and this, that, and the other. Then he said he is comfortable. They got some things to work out. But I think the future is bright for the Bengals. The Lions, damn, man, they was better off with Matthew Stafford. They got Jared Goff, and even though it was a close game and they lost by 2 points, damn, man, 0-5. But Detroit and Lions fans are used to losing, so it is what it is. I think they didn't lose. They went winless one year. I remember that. So the Lions has got some problems. Denver, they lost to the Steelers, but Teddy Bridgewater, man, Teddy ain't too bad, but he ain't going to be the flashy quarterback. But I think that Denver's still going to make the playoffs, and I think so is Pittsburgh. Big Ben, although he ain't the same as he used to be, he still got some gas in the tank. But Najee Harris is a beast. I think that was his first 100-yard rushing game of the season, of his career, and he looked like he going to be another good running back, man. They always end up getting good running backs. That's one thing that the coach knows how to do, is pick good running backs. He done did it time and time again. We already talked about the Dolphins and Buccaneers. Tom Brady, man, that boy is just defying age, man. I hope it don't come out that he been on the juice, because this is some unprecedented stuff. 45 years old, 44 years old, and still a beast. Jameis Winston, 4 touchdowns, beat Washington. Jameis ain't looking bad, man. It looked like him going there and taking that year to study behind Drew Brees end up being the best career move he could have had. And, if you ain't got a Jameis Winston rookie card, you might want to get one, because it looked like he going to be all right. And Washington, this Washington. The Eagles, man, barely got a win. The Eagles are 2-3. Jalen Hurts, he's mediocre, but he young. The Eagles, I don't know about the Eagles, man. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Carolina is not doing what they could be doing, the best of their ability. Old McDonald threw 3 interceptions, and if you throw 3 interceptions and still only win by 3 points, that kind of say a lot. So they did have Big Chubba up in here with 100 rushing yards, and he was running all over them, man. The Eagles' defense is not there. It's inexistent. And I know somebody was thinking the Eagles had a chance of going 4-0 or 5-0 this year, which I try to tell them that ain't about to happen. So the Eagles is trying to make it, but at the end of the day, the Eagles would be lucky if they win 6-7 games this year. You say they're going to upset the Bucks this Thursday. We all know that ain't true. You a diehard Eagles fan. I give you credit for sticking with your team, but that ain't about to happen, bro. The Eagles is done. They ain't about to be able to do none of that. As far as, I thought this damn thing and the damn screen went down. I was over here showing this. All right. So we'll see what's up, but yeah, it's definitely over. Larry, you say you went to the Browns game this week at SoFi. Baker is not it, man. Baker ain't that bad, though. I see a lot of Browns fans that don't like Baker and don't think that Baker is going to be their quarterback of the future. Don't think he can do it. But I don't think Baker is that bad, and I think Baker can give y'all what y'all need. You got a lot of talent on that team. As long as he don't have to throw it 30, 40 times a game, you all could have that win. You got the running game. You got the defense. He got wide receivers. I mean, Cleveland has probably got one of the most complete teams in the NFL. The Titans beat the Jaguars. That ain't saying much. The Jags 0-5. They horrible. Trevor Lawrence, they got him throwing 33 times trying to make something happen. But Derrick Henry, man, is a beast. 3 touchdowns on their head. We see the Patriots with Bill Belichick. The Texans didn't have a chance, but the Patriots with the field goal, they beat them. But neither team is really that good right now. And, we'll see what's up with the Patriots and Mac Jones. But I think Mac Jones is going to be all right. I think he got the chance to be one of the best quarterbacks to come out this year. So we'll see what happens. But you got to keep in mind, if you really follow football, Brady wasn't Tom Brady when he first came out. It took about 4 or 5 years before he really became the Tom Brady that we know. So we'll see how it turns out. But I think that Mac Jones got a lot of potential, and he did, play hella good in Alabama. So we'll see. And Belichick and Nick Saban are good friends, so I'm sure he got the playbook and all the information on what's best for Mac Jones. So we'll see. And the Colts and the Ravens, that was a good game, but it looking like Lamar Jackson is just improving right before our very eyes. And Lamar Jackson went 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. He threw 43 times, but he made 37 of them. So out of 43 attempts, he only missed 6 passes. 442 yards, and he put up another 62 yards rushing. I can't believe how many teams passed on Lamar Jackson in the draft, even after winning the Heisman Trophy and what he put up in Louisville. Now, the Heisman Trophy doesn't mean that much when it comes to the NFL, because a lot of Heisman Trophy winners have not turned out to be the best NFL players, but Lamar is special. And Carson Wentz, although didn't look his worst, he put up 400 yards, 25 for 35, 2 touchdowns. It doesn't seem as if he is all the way back, but it does seem that he is better than they may have thought. Now, he only had one really good year, then he was injured, and some say he may be injury prone. That may be the case. The Colts are 1-4, so is not what he's doing is not translating into wins, but I wouldn't say exactly he's losing the game. He doesn't maybe hit the people when he's supposed to, but we'll see. Gardy, I'm glad you made it. Better late than never. I appreciate you for coming on through. You say that was straight facts. That's what's up. You watched the whole games. Ravens got a lot of fight in them. They do. The Ravens is looking like a very good team right now. And, I don't know, man. You may not want to meet them in the playoffs. I'm going to put the link up in here. If anybody want to talk about Ben-Simmons or the NFL, you can come on through. We got about 30 minutes left in the show, and then we're going to call it a night. So let me go ahead and talk about Ben-Simmons right quick and what I think is going on with Brother Ben up in here. So Ben-Simmons had first said that he will not play another game with Philly and that he wouldn't even report to the team. It was even points where he wasn't answering the phone. And now we see that Ben-Simmons has now appeared at the training camp with for the team and took the COVID test. So what they saying is happening is that he's been his agent Rich Paul, shout out to LeBron for elevating his boys. Some people appreciate when they get elevated and do the right thing, and some people they don't understand what's going on. Some people anyway. LeBron elevated his boys, helped them out to be who they are. Rich Paul is probably one of the biggest agents in the NBA right now. So now they got Ben Simmons up in here, and he represent Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons basically is coming to bring up his trade value. Okay? I don't think Ben Simmons is going to stay with the Sixers. Now, some of the stuff that Ben Simmons said is about the Sixers Embiid and other players said was disrespectful. And some of that stuff probably they're not going to be able to get over. But they're going to try to play and win so that they can move on. They say he surprised the Sixers when he reported to Philly. And they said he'd been away for 2 weeks to the start of the NBA preseason. So the preseason been going on for 2 weeks, and he ain't been nowhere to be found. And now he reported all of a sudden to the team. Well, they did take $8 million of his salary and put it in the escrow account, and they're going to start to, take the fines and stuff out of that money. So I'm sure he want his money back. He did buy over a $20 million mansion in Calabasas. So he going to have to pay them bills. Even if he's already made, 40, 50, 60 million, that's right there is a nice chunk of your earnings. Now, if he gets the rest of his money, then it ain't no big deal. So he need that bread. And I do think that the best thing for him to do is get traded for Kyrie. That's a win-win for both teams because the Nets need defense, and they already have plenty of scorers. Between Harden and Durant, that's already enough points. They could easily both put up 25 points a game, 30 points a game. That's 50, 60 points, And then you got all the other people chip in to get to the 100 points a game. Ben-Simmons is not going to be asked to be a main scorer. But Kyrie, with the Nets, they need points. Because all they have is really Embiid. You got Toby, could put up 20. But they need that extra, 18 to 20 plus points a game. And they need perimeter shooting. The Nets have plenty of perimeter shooting. They need, glue guy. And so Ben-Simmons could be that glue guy that can really play all 5 positions, play defense, pass the ball to everybody else. That's all they need. Whereas the Sixers needs a distributor and a 3-point shooter. And so we'll see what's going on. But I think that would be the perfect trade. Both parties will win with that deal. And although Kyrie is injury prone and will be injured more than Ben-Simmons, at the end, if he's able to be healthy at the right time, it would definitely be a win-win for the Sixers because he could do everything they need him to do. And he don't have to be the man because they got Embiid for it. Kyrie is not he can't, if he's the best player on your team, you in trouble, like what happened with Boston. But if he's the second or third best player on the team, then you good. So with him being the second best player in Philly, that would be a perfect fit. And with Ben-Simmons being the third best player in the Nets, that wouldn't be another perfect fit because they wouldn't need him to do more than, pass the ball, play D, rebound, whatever. So we'll see what's up. And yeah, he definitely could go to his strengths right there. So in this right here, they say why he returned now. They said he was described as wanting to prove a point and knowing he had done so with something that almost never happens in the NBA, sitting out of training camp. Sitting out of training camp cost himself nearly $1 million in lost salary and fines, and delivering an unmistakable message that he wanted a trade out of Philly. The Sixers scoured the league but never came close to finding a deal that returned them the kind of elite player they'd want in exchange for Simmons. The trade market can shift quickly once the regular season get underway and more players become eligible to be moved December 15th. But the Sixers have no traction on a trade right now. They are expected to be conversations on how much of that money could be returned to Simmons should he reintegrate into the Sixers and return for the season, but it's currently unclear whether Simmons' intentions are to merely report to the team or truly rejoin it. Simmons has 4 years and $147 million left on his contract. So he has 4 years. That's the real reason why he can't really get the demand to trade like other players, because he ain't in his last year or 1 year left. He has 4 years left. So he's faced with either retire or play for the Sixers. He can ask for a trade, try to do things to be disgruntled, but in the end, that just makes it harder to get traded. That just brings your value down. So he doesn't want to do that too much, or he'll be stuck there for 4 years. So he really has no leverage, and he already lost $1 million because he didn't show up to work for 2 weeks. That's crazy. That's a nice amount of money, and I think he realized it's better to bring his ass to work and play and see what he could do positive to increase his trade value, and pretty much then maybe get traded as the season go. And then it's a thing where in December 15th, it's not until then or after then that players can get traded. So it's part of like the contract agreement that some players that are newly acquired to teams are not eligible to be traded yet until then, depending on, how or when they're trying to be traded after a certain date. So maybe if it was a 2 or 3 team trade, or they got traded, then got traded like a day or two later or something. But once the season started and the preseason started, then they ain't eligible to be traded. So you got to wait till after December 15th. So we'll see. You say Kyrie is a mental case that can ball. Kyrie definitely is very, let's say, unique. And that's being nice. And he does have skills. I wouldn't say, how many of y'all think Kyrie is better than Dame Dollar? Put a 1 for Kyrie and put a 2 for Dame Dollar. If y'all are watching on the replay, just put 1 Kyrie, 2 Dame. So, like, which one of y'all thinks that he better? Like, I'm going to take Dame Dollar. I think Damian Lillard is better than Kyrie in every aspect. Maybe Kyrie could do a couple more dribble moves than him, but Dame could dribble, Dame could dunk, Dame could lay up, Dame could shoot, Dame could shoot the mid-range, the 3. I mean, what is it he can't do? Dame has averaged more points than Kyrie. He's brought his team to more victories than Kyrie ever has because he's been the leader of his team. Dame Lillard been the best player on his team since he came in the NBA. And he's brought Portland to the playoffs. Whereas Kyrie, when he was the best player on the team in Cleveland, they missed the playoffs like 4 years in a row. When LeBron came, then they started making the playoffs. But LeBron was the better player. Now, to Kyrie's credit, Cleveland wasn't that great of a team. But Kyrie is not better than Damian Lillard to me. Not to say that Kyrie is a bum, but he's not better than Damian Lillard. Let me see what we got. We got a Dame Dollar in here. Got another Dame. I'll trade Ben for LeBron. Yeah, right. I'm sure you would. Got another Dame, Dame, no question. Better leader, better mentality. Dame also a better defender than Kyrie. Yeah. And Steph is a better shooter than Dame. I don't know about better defender. Steph is a better scorer than Dame. He got probably just as good, if not better, handles than Dame, and he probably got the better handles than Kyrie. Actually, Steph got some handles. You know, that's low-key something that slept on. But Steph Curry got ball handles. You know what I'm saying? But I would say Steph is better than Dame. I would say that. How many of y'all think Steph is better than Dame? Put 1 Steph, 2 Dame. If y'all watching on the replay, put a 1 for Steph, put 1 Steph, 2 Dame, so that we know what you're talking about. Because when you comment after the video is aired, it's hard to know what you was saying and who you was talking about with the 1 and the 2. But, you know, you think that Steph is better? Mr. Abney got Dame. We got not a 1v1 defender. You got Steph. You put Steph. Yeah, I think everybody would take Steph over Dame. But it ain't that big of a gap. You know, you say Kyrie might have the best handles I've seen. I give him that. Kyrie got amazing handles. I will give him that. Kyrie does have amazing handles. And so does Steph, though. But it's more to your game than that. I'm not saying that anybody said it's not. Yeah. Kyrie is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Who would y'all take if you all are the Nets and you got James Harden and Kyrie in a contract year, and you might only be able to sign one of them, or you keep playing around with Kyrie, you might lose James. So which one you want? Put a 1 for Harden and put a 2 for Kyrie. I'm keeping Harden. If I got to pick one or the other, I can only keep one. I'm keeping James Harden over Kyrie. Put a 1 Harden, 2 Kyrie. Same thing in the comments. If y'all watching on the replay, just type Harden or type Kyrie. 1 Harden, 2 Kyrie. I'm going to take Harden. And they say James Harden may end up going to Philadelphia because Daryl Morey, who was the GM in Houston, who was real cool with James Harden and did everything he could for Harden, may try to bring James Harden to Philadelphia next year. And if James Harden is there with Embiid, that's right there. That's nasty. But Harden didn't play good with Dwight Howard in his prime. But, well, Dwight Howard was slightly out of his prime. But with Embiid is a little more in his prime than James Harden is right now. But I'm going to take James Harden over Kyrie if I had to pick. You say trade Kyrie, trade Ben, get what you can get. I know that's right. You say Kyrie handles kill Brandon Knight's career. You got James Harden. You know, yeah, man, I'm going to take it. Embiid is injury prone. That is true. Embiid is injury prone. To be so damn big, he is very fragile. But at the same time, we'll see if he maybe improves. He has been there in the playoffs. But with his injury history, will he be there much longer? Healthy? Because as you get older, your health only gets worse a lot of times. So we'll see if, you know, he can stay healthy. He has been doing pretty good considering what? He didn't play his first 2 years damn near. So we'll see what he could do. Prime Dwight couldn't do what Embiid can do offensively, but Harden with Embiid would be lethal. That's true. Prime Dwight was an excellent defender, and he could score around the basket. He did take the Magic to the finals against Kobe. They did beat LeBron in Cleveland, made LeBron leave Cleveland. So, Prime Dwight, you surround him with shooters. All he got to do is guard the paint, get putbacks and you know, rebounds. They went to the finals. Embiid ain't got to the finals yet. But no, Prime Dwight didn't have the game that he should have had. And Embiid doesn't have the game he shouldn't have either. He should have. It's cool to shoot the three, but he needs to be dominating in the post right now. He needs to be dominating in the post and, you know, continue to be a rim protector. And with that being said, that would be his bread and butter. But, you know, everybody shoots the three in today's NBA except for Ben-Simmons. So we'll see how that all plays out. But you know, we'll see in the end what happens with that. All right, well, I'm about to wrap it up. Just to recap, Jon Gruden, I think his career is over with. I don't see him on TV. And if he does appear on one of those stations, that just proves that they are racist, whether he's on Fox or OAN. That show what they about, they can't even hide it no more. And then also, I definitely think that his college and NFL coaching career is over with. Because how could you try to coach a sport predominantly with African Americans, and that's how you feel? And then we know him to be somebody to talk behind people back, and it says all kind of things behind people back. Who likes a person that talks about people behind their back and is, you know, two-faced? So I think it's over for him. The NFL Week 5 so far is looking like a good season. We got about 4 or 5 teams that could possibly be a contender to win it all. Everybody thought it was Kansas City and Tampa Bay as the only teams that maybe could win it all at the beginning of the season. And it looked like Kansas City are not who we thought they were. And Tampa Bay's looking good, though. And so we got a couple other teams that's starting to emerge. And it looked like it could be anybody's league and anybody's championship this year. So with that being said, we'll see how it all turns out. But that's looking pretty good. Kyrie Irving looks like he's willing to end his career over the vaccine. And if that's what he want to do, fine. That's what he should do. But don't hold your teammates and their career hostage by deciding you're not going to do this, or if they trade you, you'll retire. You're holding the team and your teammates hostage. These guys agreed to get traded there. Harden wanted to get traded there to play with you and KD. You know, KD came there because you was there and you all agreed to meet up there. And you know, you got Blake Griffin and Millsap and Aldridge and all kind of players taking minimum deals, counting on you and everybody else to play and win a championship, and you're letting everybody down. So get traded and then retire. Why say it so that they don't trade you and then hold the team and your teammates hostage to what you want to do? You know, so I think that's a punk move. I think that he's being selfish. If you don't want to take the vaccine, fine, don't take it. But don't hold up everybody else and their money, their career, and their dreams. You know, you made enough money, you want to live your life and do that, more power to you. Go for it. But if you want to be a man about it, then don't hold up other people from doing what they want to do. You know, do you and keep it moving. And then Ben Simmons is the same way. A lot of these guys today are very selfish and inconsiderate, and that's what the way of the world is these days. They're very inconsiderate, very selfish. It's all about what have you done for me lately. People are quick to forget what you have done for them and how you've helped them, and then they start to think that, you know, it's all about them. as if they're the only ones that have done something or produced something. And at the end of the day, this is a very selfish, world, and people are quick to forget. And I think Ben Simmons got reminded real quick when they took that money, $8 million. He got reminded that you ain't bigger than the NBA. And if you really didn't want to play there, why'd you sign that contract? At the end of the day, you need to be mad at yourself. You the one that underperformed. You the one that don't work on your game. You the one that couldn't shoot the free throws. You the one that was afraid to go up for a dunk because you might get fouled because you can't shoot free throws. You the one that made a major contribution in your team underperforming and losing. So at the end of the day, you mad at what you did, but you blame it on everybody else. And then you talking about all this stuff about you ain't going to play and you ain't going to do this or that. You don't have any leverage. The game is going to go on with or without you. And I think that sometimes people forget that. And he got reminded. And so I think that he's going to come and try to play his best ball that he can play. I mean, keep in mind, he didn't even help LSU go to the NCAA tournament because he couldn't even help them win. You the number 1 draft pick, and you can't even get your team to a winning record because he couldn't shoot. And he wasn't, the best all-around teammate he could be at LSU. And then he got picked number 1 overall because he does have a lot of talent. I'm not going to say he doesn't. I think he got enough talent to be the best player in the NBA if he learned how to at least shoot free throws and develop a jump shot. If he could, and if he had a 3, he definitely could be the best player in the NBA. If Ben Simmons could shoot threes, develop a mid-range, and shoot 70% or better from free throw land, he could be the best player in the NBA. He could. He would be just like LeBron. He big as Giannis or KD, all of them bigger than LeBron. But you got to work on your game. You got to work on your game. And you say you don't agree because they threw you under the bus. I don't think they threw him under the bus. They spoke the truth. It's nothing that they said that was wrong. And Ben Simmons was in public first talking about he don't want to play with them anymore and that he didn't want to come back to the team. As if the team did you wrong. I mean, were they supposed to lie? You made bad plays. Most players, just like in football, Patrick Mahomes, what'd he say? I made too many turnovers. It starts with me. I got to get better. What is Ben Simmons? He don't say none of that stuff. He didn't say I need to work on my free throws. I got to do better. It starts with me. He didn't say none of that stuff. You have to be accountable, and he's not accountable. Ben Simmons, he didn't take any responsibility for him not knowing what the hell he was doing. So, I mean, I don't know. Pat Riley's The Winner Within, a great book for teams. Pat Riley is a excellent coach, probably better than Phil Jackson, to be truthful. But Phil Jackson has had 2 dynasties with Hall of Famers, Kobe and Shaq, and Jordan, Pippen and Jordan. I mean, that right there, is something else. And then Kobe and Gasol. We'll see, man. I think he'll play his best that he could play. They'll trade him by All-Star break, and hopefully they can get something for it. They got their mind set up on getting Damian Lillard. The only way I can see that happening is if Dame say he want to be traded and Portland is losing. If Portland is not having a losing season and they're winning and Dame don't want to go, I don't see Dame going anywhere. Why would he go? especially why would they trade him for Ben-Simmons? That's a losing trade for the Trailblazers right now, because Ben-Simmons ain't working on his game, and you going from somebody that averaged damn near 30 points a game to somebody that averaged 14 points a game. And that ain't going to work. I'll trade CJ, which CJ would be a good fit with Philly. CJ will be averaging 20, 25 points a game. He can play the point. He can pass. I mean, you know, he ain't probably the greatest defender as, you know, some other players, but he is a better offensive player than Ben-Simmons will be anytime soon. So, I mean, we'll see. I think Ben and Dame would be a good fit. But then Ben don't know how to play off ball, so I don't know. I don't think Dame is going to leave, though, either. You think Ben need a sports psychologist? I wouldn't put it past him. Anyway, man, I appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me up. Look in the description box below. Join the membership. Sign up for the Discord. I appreciate everybody for coming through. We got a lot of good conversations we be having in the Discord. Talk about sports, movies, watch movies. We watched the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight. It was a lot of fun, so I appreciate everybody for coming through, everybody for supporting the channel. Everybody stay safe, and thanks for the super chat, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Everybody stay safe. Peace, and I'm out. Deuces.